Hello everyone. Dr. Nandipha has filed assault charges against the Department of Correctional Services. Free State Police confirmed a common assault case was opened on Wednesday at the Park Road Police Station on Wednesday. Makutumana alleged that she was assaulted at the Kroonstad Correctional Center, where she is being held in the hospital wing. Provincial Police spokesperson Brigadier Motansi Makele said the matter will be transferred to the Kroonstad Detective Services for further investigation and no arrests have been made. This comes after Dr. Nandipha collapsed in the police holding cells on Wednesday before she had to appear in the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. It is alleged that she undressed herself while being taken from prison to court. Her lawyer, Machini Motlaong, told the media that his client was feeling ill and Makutumana's request to appear virtually was turned down by the court. She was set to appear alongside her co-accused and lover, rapist and murderer Thabo Mbeki. Sonowe Matsora, Zolile Sekeleni, Teboho Lipolo, Poti Masukela, Dio Makota, Sanda Moyo and Joel Maketa. During court proceedings on Wednesday, State Prosecutor Amanda Bester announced the charges were being withdrawn against Anastasia Jansen, Tabang Maya, and Moketsi Ramolula. The National Prosecuting Authority said the withdrawal of charges was part of its strategy. The trio, who were currently out on bail, were allowed to leave the dock immediately. The relief on their faces was visible. We are now moving on to the former president, Thabo Mbeki. The former president believes that nothing has happened to renew the African National Congress. Thabo Mbeki has again launched a blistering attack on the ANC, saying its renewal project has been all talk and no action. Thabo Mbeki made his latest criticism of the party's leadership while delivering the eulogy at the ANC's memorial service in tribute to the late former Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister Aziz Pahad at the University of Johannesburg. The renewal project, first initiated in 2017 and reaffirmed as a party resolution in 2022, and is aiming and was aimed at cleaning the ANC of rogue elements that infiltrated it, which has seen the escalation of corruption, money politics, convicted criminals being elected or appointed in critical positions in the party and government, as well as unqualified and unskilled people leading important state organs. Mbeki said since the adoption of the renewal resolution in 2017 and 2022, nothing tangible has been done to implement it. His criticism comes on the eve of the party's National Executive Committee meeting due to start on Saturday. The meeting will mostly likely take stock of his critique. Thabo Mbeki has been continuously critical of the leadership of President Ramaphosa, often slamming the slow pace at which his government and the ANC-NEC implement policies. He has lambasted President Cyril Ramaphosa's administration, for example, for how little has been done to finalize the social compact with social partners to grow the economy, create jobs, and end poverty. He also accused the African National Congress in a letter he wrote to its Deputy President Paul Mashatile of using its majority in parliament to protect Ramaphosa against accountability by shutting down the Palapala report. Mbeki at the time said the ANC decision to instruct its member of parliament to vote against adopting the report that said Ramaphosa may have an impeachable case against him was worrying. It suggested that the party was protecting Ramaphosa at all costs because it knew something untoward had taken place at the farm. He also previously said that the ANC has failed to oversee the much talked about renewal project that is meant to overhaul the party, failing which could lead to its demise. Mbeki on Thursday repeated this at Pahad's memorial service. He said the ANC made a self-introspection at its NASREC conference in 2017 through a diagnostic report delivered by then Secretary General Gwede, which pointed to the party's declining fortunes perpetuated by internal squabbles, money politics, and corruption, as well as poor governance, which, if not attended to, would undermine its legacy in the public. He said, so the ANC, realizing that problem, the one indicated in that diagnostic report, decided that the ANC needs to renew itself. It said at its conference in 2017, and the ANC must renew itself for survival. However, almost 6 years since that resolution, nothing has been done to show the party was serious about its renewal. He said, we did not do that. We did not renew the ANC after that conference resolution of 2017. That resolution has been repeated by the conference of 2022 to renew the ANC. We are now in October. That was 10 months ago. Nothing has happened to renew the ANC. So what was diagnosed in 2017, we are not attending to. He will not agree with those who say the ANC has betrayed South Africans. The ANC had to issue a public explanation about the state of the country and how the party has been weakened over the years. There was an NEC member who spoke to Times Live publication and disagreed with Mbeki's notion that the party has not done anything towards its renewal. The member appointed to the implementing of the new digital membership system meant to circumvent a lot of the ANC problems, including the use of membership forms to fight factional battles. The member said, I won't agree with anyone who says we have not done anything. We have done some elements of the renewal process, and this membership system is part of that. Yes, it still has some issues because it leads to delays of conferences, but it is there, and it is people who are bringing in their factional issues into the system, not the system itself. Mbeki's criticism of the ANC, especially about the renewal project, could indicate that he may not be keen to campaign for the party before the next year's election. He has told young voters to ask the ANC what will justify them giving it their votes next year. We are now moving to the former president, Jacob Zuma. The former president, Jacob Zuma, has been dealt with another blow after the Supreme Court of Appeal unanimously dismissed his bid to challenge the enforcement of ruling invalidating his private prosecution of State Advocate Billy Downer and journalist Karen Morgan. The SCA confirmed Zuma's case against the duo had no foundation and ordered punitive costs. Jacob Zuma was appealing the ruling by the KwaZulu-Natal High Court in Pietermaritzburg in August after it declined to suspend its previous ruling on 7 June. The court at the time declared the former president's private prosecution was unlawful and set aside the matter, pending the final determination of Zuma's application for leave to appeal. In Friday's judgment, which was supported by SCA, President Mahube Molamele and 3 other SCA judges, Judge Nathan Ponan dismissed Zuma's appeal against the enforcement of the KZN High Court's invalidation of his private prosecution. Ponan ruled that the private prosecution was without any foundation in either fact. Mr. Downer did not disclose Mr. Zuma's doctor's report to Ms. Morgan, and there was no breach of confidentiality or privacy or law. No cognizable offense has been committed, even if all these facts alleged by Zuma are true. Ponan further ruled that private prosecution is part of the Stalingrad strategy announced by Zuma's counsel to Hugo J over a decade and a half ago, when he said, "This is not like a fight between two champ fighters. This is more like Stalingrad. It's burning house to burning house." It is further demonstrated by the patent lack of substance to the charges, by the fact that Mr. Zuma has clearly not pursued the prosecution as would someone would intend on obtaining conviction, and by Mr. Zuma's identification of the witnesses. The ruling confirmed the High Court's finding that the private prosecution was an abuse of the process of court that had been pursued for an ulterior motive. Ponan said the ruling of KwaZulu-Natal High Court should be upheld. He said, on each occasion that the respondents are compelled to appear in the criminal dock, their personal liberty is further inhibited, and human dignity further eroded. The dignity is compounded by the personal insults that they, and in particular Ms. Morgan, has to endure, especially on social media. Mr. Zuma strikes at the social media abuse of Ms. Morgan is an occupational hazard and comes with the territory. Nothing could be further from the truth. What Mr. Zuma fails to appreciate is that this violation constitutes a steady erosion not just of her liberty and the dignity, but will also likely discourage other journalists from reporting on powerful individuals for fear of similar reprisals. Ponan ruled that guaranteeing the freedom of the press and public confidence in judicial authority and administration of justice is an ongoing process and requires constant vigilance. Nan also expressed the court's unhappiness over Zuma's attacks on the judiciary. He said, "There's nothing on the record to sustain the suggestion that the presiding judges in the matter were biased or not open-minded, impartial or fair. The allegations were made with a reckless disregard for the truth. Whilst no advanced during oral argument, they were not retracted. However, they ought not to have been made at all. The propensity to accuse judicial officers of bias, absent proper factual foundation, is plainly deserving of censure." The respondents argue that Mr. Zuma should be penalized with a punitive cost order as a mark of this court's displeasure and to vindicate the integrity of the High Court and the judiciary, a submission with which I cannot but agree. The former president instituted the private prosecution proceedings against the pair after he accused Downer, the lead prosecutor in his arms deal corruption trial, of leaking his confidential medical information to Morgan in August 2021. Zuma claimed the leak was in breach of the National Prosecuting Authority Act. However, Downer and Morgan challenged the private prosecution on the basis that Zuma's medical information was publicly available in court documents and did not include confidential details. Zuma and French arms company Thales faced several charges including fraud, racketeering, and money laundering linked to the multi-billion rand arms deal in 1999. Share your views on this one, people. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.